Stop what you're doing. I have a top 10 to do. Yes, it's Saturday, and I usually do my countdowns on a Sunday, but it's Saturday, and what else are we going to do? So I'm going to finish off my top 100 favourite albums of 2000 to 2009 today, and tomorrow I'm going to start my new countdown. Ooh, thrilling for me. My new countdown is... I mean, considering I struggle with the millennium years, I'm really going to struggle with continually having to say my top 100 singles released in the 90s that didn't get in the top 40. I need a snappier title. Suggestions, please. Without further ado, my top 10 favourite albums of the millennium years, 2000 to 2009. Benji. 10. Moloko, Statues. Now, we'd already got into perfect album territory, but we are at perfect album territory now. Even down to look how Rasheen looks on this cover. She looks absolutely awful in the most fabulous way, and I mean that as a compliment, because look what she's wearing. She's drinking a pint in the sea. She's going shit because there's a jellyfish by her snatch, and she doesn't care because she's Rasheen Murphy and she is the coolest in the world. Which is what I think about a few people, but anyway. So singles off this: Familiar Feeling. If you haven't seen the videos, Familiar Feeling, amazing. It starts this album off, and it builds and it builds and it builds to this crescendo, and then the song starts, and it's just every time I have to stop and listen to it because it's perfect. The video, brilliant. Watch it. Even better video is the single after it, Forevermore. Again, totally has my heart. There was a single after it, Cannot Contain This, which didn't do very well. I don't think it got a proper release, but again, every track on this is iconic. The way it's structured, from the build up of Familiar Feeling down to the last song, Over and Over, which just draws out it really mournfully, and this was their last album as well. And Over and Over, it's over, all over, and it was. And there it is. But then there was more Rasheen. Not the next album. The next album, number 9, is Finisterre by Saint Etienne. Finisterre is a Saint Etienne do these concept albums. Finisterre is kind of around concrete jungles and stuff like that, which you can see by this, which people would see as a monstrosity, but some people love it. The album had the singles Action. Was it Action? Yeah, Action. Oh dear me. What was the other single off this? Action. Soft Like Me with the 2. Two singles off this, and then some people got Shower Scene, which should have been before Soft Like Me. But the best song on this, the best song on this, Forevermore. The best song on this for me is the title track, Finisterre, which barely features Sarah singing at all. It features somebody else talking about life in the suburbs, with Sarah singing the chorus. And again, I'm going to say it a lot, has my heart completely, 100%. I love this album. It is my 9th favourite of that decade. My 8th favourite album of the millennium years. And we're going to go with a slightly odd format for this because there's no vinyl. So I'm going with Kylie X. 10th album, X. And this is the USB album, which has a funky little... Ooh, look. There she is. Two Hearts was the lead single, which is... I don't care what you say. I think Two Hearts is a fantastic song. And even now it gives me this little kick and a thrill. And I like it more than Wow, which was the follow-up single. I think Wow is very, very obvious for a song. It's still enjoyable, but I prefer Two Hearts, and I don't care if you disagree with me. Third single was All I See. No, it was not. It might have been in some territories, but third single was In My Arms, because it's C, Eyes, Arms, got mixed up. In My Arms, great song. And then there was The One, which was a limited release, digital only, I think it was. A couple of promos knocking about, and the best song off this album is The One. It's one of Kylie's best songs. It keeps cropping up and proving to us why, and that it is one of her best songs when she performed it on the Golden Tour and the tour she did last year when we were allowed outside. Just built beautifully, and you can tell she loves singing it, and it's just euphoric, and it's effortlessly euphoric in actual fact. And it has my heart. I'm going to keep on saying for everyone, I'm going to say why it has my heart. But I love every song on this, and people see it as a weaker Kylie album, and I disagree. Can't make it work. Can I make it work? No, not really. So yeah, that is my 8th favourite album of the decade. And we're going to get on a roll here, because my 7th favourite album of the decade, Kylie, Fever. Yeah. I know some of you are thinking, what? Really? Because people tend to rate Kylie's Fever as her best album, and I love it a lot. It has my heart. Look, it looks like she's walking on the bottom of the screen now. Not looking where she's going. Not socially distancing. She could walk straight into somebody. Stop it. Love at First Sight, Can't Get You Out of My Head, and In Your Eyes, and Coming to My Will were the singles off this. And it's an immaculate dance pop album. Electro, very cool. I'd struggle to say that my favourite song off this wasn't Can't Get You Out of My Head, because it is clearly one of the best pop records ever made. But I do love Burning Up a lot, because it's very different to the rest of the album. And I love at First Sight as well. It's an absolutely fantastic pop album, and that is why it is my 7th favourite album of that decade. 6, Body Language, Kylie. We had Slow, Red Blooded Woman and Chocolate, and I love this album loads. And if it weren't for a quick switch out as I put the pile together, this would have ended up being my top rated Kylie album of the decade. And I think all of Kylie's albums that were released in the decade all made my top 10, and I don't care if you think I'm predictable or stereotypical or anything, because Kylie makes the best, the most loving, the most giving pop music. Makes me happy. Slow is my favourite Kylie song as well, so naturally it is my pick from Body Language. But I basically, like, Still Standing, Secret, Promises, Sweet Music, just that clump of songs there, absolute immaculate. It did exactly what it needed it to do at the time, not be Fever, and I think it did it beautifully. It was stylish and great sounding, exceptionally well delivered, and I think she should sing more of these songs when she tours, but she doesn't. So we're in the top 5. I'm going to stop for a quick drink, but I am actually over my budget of time, so I need to probably hurry up. 5th, there it is, Light Years. My 5th favourite album of the decade, my top rated Kylie album of this. Spinning Around, On a Night Like This, Please Stay, Kids, Your Disco Needs You. Again, apart from the inclusion of Robbie Williams and the fact that she brings it to every tour. Oh, the dog's barking. Again, immaculate, and at the time when I first bought it, I thought it was good, but you re-listen and you re-listen and you re-listen to these, and you realise how solid these pop songs are. Like songs like So Now Goodbye, Disco Down, Butterfly in particular. But my favourite track of this album, I got a really itchy end of nose, hang on. Light Years, the title track, immaculate. Oh, is it? No, hang on, because I love Your Disco Needs You more every single time I hear it. I'm not deciding. Both of those are my favourite track. Gotta be quicker. 4. Here's Roisin Murphy again. Her second solo album, Overpowered. Again, immaculate pop album. In a different way to the other ones I've just said. Overpowered is genuinely... It hits 100 on every track. It is the top rated non-other artist on this countdown, because Overpowered is... It just fires on all cylinders at every second of the way in all its ways. That was a really badly constructed sentence, but just go with it. But that whole, the beginning of, when I think that I'm over you, when you hear her just sing that live before the song's even started, you just like, oh, live music, I miss you so much. Even the album tracks, Parallel Lives, Body Language, absolute class. Cry Baby, Checking on Me, You Know Me Better was also a single. Overpowered has got to be my favourite. Let Me Know, great as well. Overpowered's got to be a favourite off there, but You Know Me Better, perfect. Right, top three. I think I might be back on time now. Top three. You know how this is going to go. Top three. Third favourite album of the decade. Medulla by Björk. I was going to say Björk by Medulla then. Medulla by Björk. An album of entirely constructed of acapellas, but in a Björk way. There's only one song I don't like by Björk, and it is on this album, and it's a song called what's it called now? I can't remember because I'm pressuring myself because of time, but it's the one with the woman going in the background, and it really frightens me. Best song on this is absolutely Triumph of the Heart, because again, immaculate in every way. Watch the video, just fantastic. And the way Björk uses voices only to construct an album like this. Oh, but there's Mouth's Cradle as well. Mouth's Cradle made me cry when I saw her live last time. So again, I'm not picking. 2. Hello. It's Volta by Björk. Second favourite album of the decade, and the winner of the worst album packaging ever, because nobody really wanted to open that, but I opened mine by doing that. Well, irritatingly, the camera stopped working then, and leaving you on a cliffhanger for what would be number 1. But yeah, Earth Intruders, Innocence, Dull Flame of Desire, Wanderlust, and Declare Independence were the singles off this. My favourite track off this album is always Declare Independence. It's got to be Declare Independence. Yeah, Declare Independence. There's a song on this album called Pneumonia that makes me cry every single time I listen to it. There's a certain point of it, and I just go, can't help it. Beautiful song. But Declare Independence is rousing. Not said that for a while. Number 1, you know what it is already, because it is Vespertine. Said it wrong. Vespertine by Björk. This is Björk's take on chamber music, or little micro beats. You listen to it with headphones, you can hear the beats going crazy. You listen to it without, and you don't know what's going on. You don't know that these beats are wild and crazy and out there. I've got less than a minute to sum this up. Yeah, so Vespertine is my favourite album of that decade, and it was coming from a mile off. You must have known it. Hidden Place, Cocoon, and Pagan Poetry were the singles off this. But again, every second of every song on this album is beautifully written, composed, and delivered, and structured, and it is an absolute accomplishment of an album. And my favourite track off this is, it's got to be Hidden Place. But I love Heirloom loads, and I love Harm of Will, and I love everything on this album. Every single thing. It's beautiful. That was my top 100 albums of the Millennium Years. I have 9 seconds. Bye.